Hey everyone, it's Sandy Kia Izade from Toronto's Mindful Solutions Clinic, and I just wanted to wish you a happy new year and to welcome you all back for this brand new year of 2020. And today what I wanted to also do is to talk about the importance of journaling. So really today's topic is all about sort of the benefits of journaling, and I guess to start us off with, I don't know about you, but who among us used to have a diary when we were teenagers? And our diaries were great tools that we used when we were younger. It helped us sort of gather our thoughts and vent out whatever emotions we were holding on to. It helped sort of clarify as well what was going on in our lives, what our triggers were. And it really helped bring clarity for so many of us when we were younger. And yet, for a lot of us who have grown into adulthood and sort of are dealing with the busyness of day-to-day life, we sort of have fallen off a lot of the wagon of journaling. And it's too bad that we have, because it's a wonderful tool that we have access to that we're not really utilizing anymore. And I know for me personally, as a therapist, as a coach, one of the very first things I tell my clients when I first start working with them is to get back into that habit of journaling, because it's just so critical. And especially when you're working with a coach or a therapist, having a journal is something that'll help you continue to do the work that you are doing in therapy or in the coaching relationship. I often tell clients that the real work, the real big important work, doesn't necessarily happen during our sessions. The real work happens when you're out there living your life and actually reflecting on what we've talked about. And so, again, journaling is a wonderful self-reflection tool. So really, it's super important to get back into that habit. But what I've noticed as well, the sort of the pushback or the feedback I get from some of my clients, not all of them, but from some of my clients is, well, I don't know what to write about, Sandy. I stare at the blank page and it just, I've got so many thoughts in my head, I don't know how to pull them down and actually figure out what's important and what's not important, what's just noise. And that's a valid, that's a valid concern. And so I've been thinking about that, and which is why I've created this little guy. So this is a journal that I've just published, and it's available on all of the major online retailers like Amazon. I'll include the link below after the video. So it's called My Mindful Life. It's a journal. So it's a little booklet that I've created to help you all, to help my clients journal. And so let's take a look at it. It's actually a pretty colorful book, so you can sort of see. I've included some of the mandalas that I've drawn over the years. And so this journal, the reason what makes this journal so great is that I've actually included prompts, questions. And so there are about 80 questions that I've included in this journal. Things like, today I reflect on the people in my life who have made me feel loved and supported. I feel grateful for ... And that's where you come in. You can actually sort of go ahead and start thinking about what you're grateful for, who you're grateful for in your life. Here's another question on this next page is, I practiced self-care today by, and so this is where you would come in and actually sort of reflect on, are you actually practicing self-care? What are your, what I call medicines often with my clients is, what are your medicines that actually help you practice self-care? And medicines, I don't mean medicines in sort of the conventional way that doctors refer to medicines. I actually, when I'm using the word medicines, I mean, practices. What are your practices that actually help you on your self-care? So it could be things like, exercise, eating right, reading a great self-help book, going to therapy, getting acupuncture. I'm, a shamanic healer as well. So, my medicines as well include things that are, from that lineage, things like drumming and rattling and journeying. Meditating is a wonderful self-care practice. So these are all medicines that that I consider self-care. And so, a journal prompt like that can sort of help you reconnect with what are your medicines. Here's another one. If my body had a voice, it would whisper. What would your body say if you actually spent a few moments sort of tuning into your body, tuning into what's going on inside of you, and just practice stillness for a few moments and just sort of tune into, what is your body trying to tell you? I know for me, as somebody who has a chronic health condition, when I'm not practicing self-care regularly, that's when, my symptoms start, they're exacerbated. And so my body speaks to me because and my body will scream to me, usually in those situations when I'm having a flare-up. And really what it's saying is, you haven't been practicing self-care, Sandy. So this is the only way I know how to get your attention, Sandy. And so when I get that signal, it's like, oh, right, I haven't been paying attention to you. I'm so sorry. I'm going to go back to using my medicines and practice that. So yeah, so that's the, if my body had a voice, what would it whisper? So this, as I said, this booklet has about, you can't really see it, has about 80 prompts, and it's also got space for you if you wanted to draw things on your own, or if you wanted to color the mandalas that I drew, you're welcome to do that as well. Let's see, what other questions? My body feels energized when I eat. And again, this is about sort of tuning into what's going on for you internally. Like, for instance, when I'm not eating the most healthfully, which we all do, right? We all do. We all sort of sometimes eat those processed foods and whatnot that are really tasty in the moment. But I know for me, again, because of, the chronic condition that I deal with, if I eat something that's not the most healthful, I will be feeling the effects of that the next day, and typically for like the entire week after. So it's important to sort of recognize what's going on for you internally. Here's another one. I spent time today being fully present and engaged with someone that I care about. This is how I spent my time with him or her, and how this time together made me feel. Here's another one. When I'm in emotional or physical pain, the most compassionate things I can do for myself are, so as I said, there are about 80 questions in here. It's a really super cute booklet that you can fill out on your own. It's colorful, it's creative and artistic, and I want to speak to the creative artistic piece as well. Art is so important for all of us, and art is a wonderful tool as well. It's one of those medicines that I was talking about. Art is actually a really wonderful creative tool to help you sort of get in touch with yourself, to get the sort of the juices flowing on self-reflection. So that's why I've created I've included my drawings that you're welcome to color in, but I've also created space where if you wanted to, do your own drawings on the opposite page to help your creative juices flowing, you're welcome to do that as well. So it's a wonderful tool. It's called Mindful Life. It's a journal. As I said, it's available on all of the major online book retailers like Amazon and I would imagine iBooks as well. I'll leave the link below so that you can know how to access that. I think that's all I wanted to say about this. So it's a wonderful tool, whether you are a client of mine or not. Specifically, if you are a client of mine, this would be a great tool to use between our sessions to keep sort of, everything that we're talking about very much in your mind. What I've noticed in my, I've been in private practice now for the last, I'll put this down. I've been in practice now for the last, I'd say 15 years or so as a life coach. First, and then as a psychotherapist. And what I've noticed in this time is that clients who have used journals, whether something like this or whether just just a blank journal, clients who have used journals while they're working with me, whether in coaching or psychotherapy, the outcomes are a lot better and a lot quicker too. So that's what I have to say about journals. Get back into the habit of actually writing in your journal. What I would also say, if you can, try to make it into a ritual for yourself, and a pleasant ritual, not a chore. This isn't about creating new chores for yourself. This is really about practicing self-care and getting in tune with what's going on for you internally. So when I say, create a ritual around it, create a time for yourself, whether it's daily or once a week or a couple of times a week, but create that space in your calendar. Maybe create a little cozy nook in your home. That's my cozy nook right there. It's my meditation room behind me. So that's my cozy nook where I do a lot of my self-reflection. I sit in meditation. And meditating is actually a really great way to also, practice self-care, but also to tune into all of these, the noise, the thoughts, everything that's going on, feelings, emotions, body sensations. If you can sort of practice meditation first, to start sort of tuning in. And then when you end your meditation, maybe take out a journal, whether it's this one or whether it's a journal of your own choosing. That can sort of really help as well. So create a ritual around it for yourself that's pleasant. Maybe combine it with something pleasant like a cup of tea. So a mindful activity. This is all about living more mindfully. I think that's all I wanted to say about that. So I hope that helps. Get back into the habit of journaling, guys. It really, really is super helpful for everybody. I know that's one of the commitments I've made for myself this year, is to get back to more regularly journaling. I know I used to be an avid journaler when, I have tons of diaries when I was a kid, pretty much since I started writing. And it was really super helpful. And I don't do it as often as I used to, just because of the busyness of day-to-day life. But I can tell you that, when I do use it, I'm in a much happier place, a more grounded space, a more centered within myself. So journaling can really help with mental health, with moods, with anxiety, with depression. It can help us, gain clarity that may be missing. If you have a major decision to make and you're still sort of like, I don't know what to do, I'm a little clueless about what to do, what steps should I take, should I go this direction or that direction, that's where journaling can really help you. So benefits of journaling. All right, take care, guys. Have a great day. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and also click subscribe so that you can be kept up to date with future videos that I'll be posting. That's another commitment I've made for myself for 2020, is to post a lot more regularly. So hopefully you'll be seeing my face a little bit more often. And and if you have any comments or questions, I'll always feel free to use the comments section below and let me know what you thought of this. All right, take care, guys. Happy New Year. Bye.